Good morning and welcome to DBS This Morning. It's Thursday. We've got three features today, a little different, but you'll understand why when we get to it. First, let's tap into the news desk.
Good morning. The Ubuntu Movement Inc., together with other civil society groups, has launched the Seeds for Justice, Peace and Economic Prosperity in St. Lucia initiative to address the violent crime situation on the island.
That is when we are actually contacted. I went down into the community, had some discussions with them. And when I heard what the plan was, what was going to be happening in the future when it comes to retaliation and who wants to use and who's going to do that, I actually contacted Sister Roberta Brood and Betty Jean. And I also contacted Minister Hilaire, which we have a rapport with. And then he contacted the PM and we had a brief discussion. And he said, well, please will support whatever you're doing. Let us know whatever is happening.
The collective is already taking credit for a reduction in gun violence in the south of the country. The Euroclima program's official expansion into the Caribbean this month has been welcomed by St. Lucia's Sustainable Development Minister Sean Edward, who says the island is eager to commence its dialogue with the program to expedite interventions to advance access to climate finance and achieve the target's recently adopted Global Diversity Framework.
Our planet continues to suffer from the triple planetary crisis: climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution. This Euroclima program will allow CARICOM member states to better address these problems. CARICOM therefore welcomes the invitation from the European Union for member states to participate in Euroclima. Small island developing states are at the forefront of these crises, and urgent and immediate action is required if we are to survive the threats associated with climate change.
Euroclima's extended reach to include St. Lucia and 15 other Caribbean countries as of 2023 is a result of a new package adopted to increase the European Union's climate action in Latin America and the Caribbean region. A two-day training workshop focusing on the inevitable shift to a green economy has opened here as part of the Canadian-funded program Skills to Access the Green Economy, or SAGE. Participants are drawn from across the region and will explore new climate-smart methodologies in education.
We've connected Sir Arthur Lewis's College and the National Skills Development Center with Dalhousie University and with Algonquin College, two Canadian institutions. And together they're looking at the skills and competencies that people need to be able to support a transition, to mitigate and adapt to climate change. And so here, the focus is programs on in the area of agriculture, introducing more sustainability in how technicians and farmers use, for example, water, use various inputs, making their agriculture more efficient and more resilient in the context of changing weather patterns, precipitation, and so on.
SAGE is a 5-year program that helps with building the capacity of Caribbean technical training institutions to fill skills gaps hampering climate change mitigation efforts and preparing youth to gain skills to access jobs in the green economy. Yesterday was World No Tobacco Day, and the Ministry of Health says more young people are using tobacco. Data from St. Lucia's 2019 Behavioral Risk Factor Survey presented a concerning picture as it pertains to tobacco use on the island. The highest rate of tobacco use was between the ages of 18 to 44 years.
A habit of tobacco use within this age range is a reason for grave concern, as it reduces take-home pay due to the out-of-pocket cost of the habit. It threatens the likelihood of healthy reproduction. It reduces the years of productive life, and it diverts national resources away from developmental goals. So though we can mark many milestones, there is still much work ahead of us.
The Substance Abuse Advisory Council Secretariat has advised anyone who wants to quit smoking to visit their healthcare provider or the nearest wellness center for guidance. Those are your top stories. Thanks for watching. Good morning.
And thank you very much, Newsroom. We take a break now and we'll be right back. our first feature. Natasha Pascal is a retired banker who's gone into humanitarianism. Is that the word? She's working now with young people in an effort to try to get them to be a little bit more accepting of themselves. We caught up with her. We're here with Natasha Pascal. Natasha Pascal is a retired banker, and she's now into youth development. She's got this initiative. Her newly formed business is called Safe Spaces. It's consultancy,
Yes.
and it's geared at you. Going to flourish us there. How are you doing, Natasha? Tell us about Safe Space.
It's a wellness consultancy service, and what we get to do is give the young persons awareness of themselves spiritually, physically, emotionally, and understanding of who they are, so that they don't want to fit in, really, but to stand out as they are.
Right, owning themselves.
Owning themselves.
I'm saying, knowing that they're enough.
Yeah.
Wonderful. You've got a program that is coming up
Yes.
geared towards that. It's one in a series of many.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
On June 17th at 10 a.m., we will be highlighting and taking care of our girls. So teenage girls now would be given the opportunity with a host of various doctors and professionals from all over the island who would be speaking to them about caring for their oral hygiene, their skin, reproductive system, also mentally. The psychotherapists will be speaking on social media and the effects of the mind, and also Dr. Auger and Arifogis will be speaking on purpose. So we're not leaving anything out. We are trying our best to highlight our young ladies, to show them that, each of us have our calling, and you don't have to be like everybody else. We all love you. You are filled with love, and this is how you take care of your body. So the spiritual aspect will come from myself and my own journey of how I made mistakes and how God took me out from making these mistakes now to using that whole experience now to highlight our young ladies.
Absolutely. I just absolutely love this. All right. The program is on. It is a paid one, but as it stands right now, because you want to impact a lot of lives, persons have the opportunity if they'd like to sponsor a young person to be part of that. So
Yes.
talk to how it is that Corporate St. Lucia can come on board to enhance your initiative.
Right. We have some sponsors available already who have stepped forward and have put their foot forward to sponsor in this whole initiative. So if Mega Contracting, Kyle Construction, and X1 Communications as well, Rena's Magic Hands from overseas, actually, persons have actually reached out to help with this whole initiative. But there is still time, and there's still the opportunity for Corporate St. Lucia now to reach out and help our youth. You can reach out to me at natasha.pascal@safespaceconsultancy.co or contact me on 722-4460. We can use all the help that we can to impact our nation's youth all around the island.
Absolutely. Well done, well said, and all the best on that initiative, Natasha. Thank you so very
Thank you
much.
so much, Maureen.
Safe Spaces it is.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful.
All right then.
In our second feature, a series of NGOs have come together to formulate change. They've started a series of community projects. We were in Vieux on the 30th. We're here with Priscilla Asher from the Ubuntu movement, who is partnering or has partnered with a number of other NGOs. We are trying to find solutions. Pris,
Give thanks, blessed.
give thanks and blessed love. We had a mission on last, was it Tuesday?
Yes.
We had a mission on, and it is the start of something. We're hopeful about some our direction, where we're heading with this. A lot of things been happening in our society. The ills have been overtaken, and we could sit on the sideline, and everybody could sit on the sideline and talk about what is going on. But you have decided something has to be done. Let's talk about the mission that you're on, that new drive that you're on, partnering with these other NGOs. You're going to lead the charge, and then of course we're going to hear from them as to why it is they find it necessary to band on with you to accomplish this mission.
Well, give thanks again for having us. And the mission is a mission that didn't start yesterday. It's a continuation of works that have been done over for the past 2 decades by Dr. King and myself, probably for the past 10 years, at least a decade, and all of us saw what happened in Vieux, and even other members of this panel, like Sister Betty and myself, we are always in constant communication on what's happening in the society. So even when it came to the point in Vieux when women began to die, I felt a bit hopeless, saying that at least this have reached too far. I didn't even want to go and speak to anybody. So what happened is that a child died, a 2-year-old child, and my wife saw the picture. So she came and she said, "Prisoner, I'm shattered inside." And so I had to call Sister Betty again, and the conversation began from there. We also contacted the relevant authorities. We spoke to the Commissioner of Police. I spoke to Deputy Prime Minister, who also spoke to the Prime Minister, because we are going to do intervention and we cannot go and do intervention by ourselves. So we felt that we needed the support of all the critical parties, the forces that are supposed to be actually, playing the roles. And that's why Betty introduced me to Dr. King, and we just went into the whole aspect of speaking to the people, going into Vieux, speaking to the people, what's the issue, what's the problem. So where we are here today is as facilitators. It's not like it's a pre-scale thing or something that I came to do. It is out of a crying of the people. So whatever has happened to date is what the people wanted.
Right.
So the Ubuntu movement specifically stands for, I am because we are. And the other member of the panel, Mr. Dan Paul, he'll speak of his aspect of it, but he came and add that glue. And what we are, it's like a chain right now, and you're part of that chain because you were there yesterday. And what Mr. Dan Paul represents is what we call the collective, and you're going to see other people adding to that chain, and then you're going to see a chain that comes from Vieux, go up to Castres, go back down to Soufrière, and then come back to Vieux again.
Brilliant.
Because it's going to be a national effort that we are looking to rise up that sort of empathy in people, just to feel for your brothers and your sisters.
Wonderful. I want to turn my attention now over to Betty. You mentioned Betty a lot. Betty's been doing so much. I mean, she's tired, and you can see it in her eyes. So it just goes to show selflessness. You understand? If you're serious about something, you've got to get down and get dirty and not just stand on the sideline. We all have to put effort into making a difference. Betty, let's talk about this mission. Safe spaces, of course,
Yes.
you're representing now.
Safe spaces. Well, we have always wanted to create a safe space within the communities, and the troubled people, the people that they stigmatize, they say the most about. But we all know that there's a soft spot in everybody. Is to get that soft spot, and me or with everybody else, I know about it because I've been there, done that.
Right.
So basically, it's a movement of the people. We are here to facilitate, but it's a movement of the people, because had the people said they are not ready or they don't want to get involved, it wouldn't have been done. The women in Vieux had a big part to play. It just shows, as I always say, the power of women that sometimes they don't even know is in them. And they were vocal. They wanted it. The guys wanted it. But men are a bit reserved when it comes to that. They will not come out and say, I want a piece. And I won't even, none of us here don't want to take any praises, because they are the ones who made it happen. And I applaud the Vieux people. I applaud the people who came and said, well, yes. I heard the first time I saw live, and a lady from Shantytown was calling my name to come down, and it brought tears. And I know if I didn't do anything, but I didn't know how to go down by myself and do it. So with the help of my team, we made wonders.
Wonderful. Absolutely. Now, Mr. Don Paul, on to you now. Tell us, how are you aligned with this whole mission?
Sure. Thanks for having us on the show. I think the universe is a wonderful place. It brought us together. A couple of weeks ago, I just had a very casual chat with Darren Sammy, and I told him that I think we have to get involved as citizens to address the issue in Vieux, and he connected me with this group. and it's been good ever since. So I came up with an initiative where I'll challenge my private sector colleagues and peers to give 100 hours of their time a year to community work, and that can come in different ways, mentorship, mediation, counseling, upskilling, access to microloans. I'm a believer that government and NGOs and private sector on their own cannot achieve it. Private citizens like myself have to be a part of this. So that's how that all came about, and I've gotten really good commitment from my colleagues so far. So yesterday was somewhat of a launch of what we're doing. So I expect for us to have some traction in the weeks to come.
Wonderful. On to Dr. King. RISE has been around, like Prisia mentioned. RISE has been around. This RISE is no strange place to us. RISE has been at the wheels of this for quite some time now. You have not given up the challenge. I mean, and I know it's a challenge, but you have not given up. Talk to us about this new venture, this new mission.
This is a really special one. Not only because of the partners that are involved, but because of the Vieux Fort people and the assets of Vieux Fort and the history of Vieux Fort. Vieux Fort is a very special place in St. Lucia. And I think that because it's a special place in history, it also has an ongoing special place that shall be recorded in history. And why I'm so committed to this particular venture in Vieux Fort now is that I see Vieux Fort defining a new model of development for us St. Lucians. Because to date, the system that oppresses people remains. We have a history of oppression, a history of marginalization, landlessness and poverty. Okay? Vieux Fort shows that. And the problems in Vieux Fort, the violence in Vieux Fort is also a manifestation of that. In addition to the traumas that the people have experienced, and all of us have. So I see Vieux Fort as an opportunity to define a new model, an inclusive model of development, a model where everybody has an opportunity, everybody has a say in the governance. So we change our systems of governance, we change our systems of development, and we put the resources in Vieux Fort. Now the resources are really knowledge, showing people and helping people to access the knowledge that they require for all that they need in their lives, be it the counseling, be it the microenterprise, be it the training, be it whatever. So that is what we are aiming to do. To do that, we need the commitment of all of St. Lucia. So redemption is there for all of us. Salvation is there for all of us. Vieux Fort is the place right now. So the government has to come up on board. Private sector must come. Other NGOs must come on. And why? You're not just saving the Vieux Fort people. You're saving yourself and our children. Because what we do there is going to be the legacy of what St. Lucia will be. That is my feeling. Let's see if I'm right or wrong.
Our third feature, Carnival. It's Carnival and it's Carnival season. The junior Carnival bands are gearing up just like the adult bands. And we caught up with Olivia, who is the owner and proprietor of a junior Carnival band. This year, they'll be paying tribute to Papa Veda. We're here. Carnival is on us, and Carnival is around the corner. Olivia Sampson is here with us. She is the founder of a junior Carnival band. What's the name again? Harmony Junior Carnival Band. Olivia, what's going on, girl?
Okay, this year, well, then it's 3 years we have not jumped Carnival. The kids are excited, but we are doing tribute to Papa Veda.
Wow.
Our tribute is based on his songs from the 1980s up till recent. And we chose to do that because we believe that most of his songs are relevant in today's society. And it has a history of St. Lucia's, our way of life, what has happened, the social commentary and what have you.
What is it like having a junior Carnival band? I mean, Carnival is Carnival, and we are
we know about Carnival, St. Lucian Carnival, Lucian Vaval, nothing sweeter than that. What is it like being the proprietor of a junior carnival band, working with the kids? What is it that what is the mission really, getting the kids inducted from such a young age into the cultural aspect of the carnival?
Getting the kids involved in Carnival is getting them to know what truly Carnival is. It's not about the wire bra and the feathers and stuff. It's at the actual mask making and the storytelling of the Carnival, where it came from and what we're doing with it. Getting their minds open into doing things like in Calypso, the play on words. It's not actually the meaning, but a meaning something to them. So we're doing it in such a way that the kids would understand the meaning of what they're doing in terms of actually doing the work, building the costumes, coming and see how it is done and stuff like that. So we're not just making the costume for the kids, we get them to make the costumes. Wow. We teach them the materials used and stuff like that. So it is it's kid oriented, involved, getting them to make the mask.
You're a person very much involved in culture yourself. So how important it is for you that you're able to impart that sort of knowledge on the kids as part of the cultural showpiece?
Okay. Well, I believe right now junior carnival is dying. So what we're trying to do is make sure that we know the kids know to keep our heritage, our traditions alive. And also, since we're a tourism based country, we have to make sure that the children understand and continue putting out a product that will continue bringing persons to see the spectacle of the country, not only in mass but in other aspects. So getting them involved in doing all of that, for me it is important to keep our heritage alive.
Right. You see where we are now. I mean, it's not a complaint on our part, but Carnival, as it is right now, commercially, it is something. I mean, you have to balance now between the commercial aspect of it and the tradition. You know, basically that's what it will seem like. And we are seeing now at the top a lot of our carnival offering, the bands that, you know, we're seeing it going really in a tourism appetite sort of direction in terms of attracting, you know, the persons coming in to play it, the revelers coming in and stuff like that. In terms of, we see mass production of costumes and all of these things. How hopeful are you that what you're doing is going to remain with these young ones as they move along, and it will be something that they carry on?
I am very hopeful at this point that we instilling the mask making down here would be something that will move on and will stay with them. Because, for instance, it is very difficult to get a mask man down here that could do your wire work for you. Right. And then hoping that those persons that have these skills will be exported as well. Because we import our wire work, we import our costume making. So instilling that on our children, it will be economical to us. Yes, to us, then that they have the skills, so therefore persons will be coming to us. And in spite of it being everything being on the tourism spectrum, it would be nice to see that we have something that belongs to us and not the wider world. Something belonging to someone else is not necessarily what would bring in the tourists, because tourists are looking for something different. So if we continue instilling in our children what makes us us, instead of what makes us them, we'll have something to put out there.
I certainly like this. Now, how can persons? What age group are you working with? An age group for the band?
Yeah, yes, we are. Once the kids can walk on the road and they can jump, we'll take them to some. Well, actually, the age is 17, but we know 17-year-olds like the big bands. So if they have kids from ages, as long as you could walk and they can do the road till 16, they are accepted.
Oh, manageable! That sounds like a handful. Then you got little ones on the road. Are they normally very easy to manage?
The little ones, once they have music, food, they're good. But we also have a bus for the little kids. Once they're tired, they go on that bus.
Right.
So that would be it for them.
Speak to the portrayal now. A little bit about the portrayal. Papa Veda is going to be honored through your portrayal this year. You see it through his music. So would it be represented through the costumes, what they would they wear, or would it be? I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay. We're right now doing the tribute to Papa Veda through his song and costume. Right. We know he's the mask man, so we have mask in the band. Right. His famous songs would be, we're doing 6 sections, right. Would be Forming a Line, Walk and Wine, Victoria, Step Step, Immortal. Immortal is a song that persons really did play in between, because when they hear it, it's like, oh, Invader sang that. And also we're doing which one is that? Yellow Man. This Yellow Man is his very first song that he ever put out. So that will be one of the sections that will be coming to him. Also, we're hoping that well, we are working with him. He has seen the costumes and he gave his approval. He's really elated that something is coming out of it. So yeah, so we're paying tribute to our mass man. Many crowns on his head, both calypso and soca. So we're hoping our kids get to know who he is, because a lot of our youngsters, especially those at secondary school, do not know who our calypsonians are.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I appreciate this drive, because Papa Veda is my guy, you know, and I always say he needs to get his flowers before he dies. So I am certainly, I'm definitely 100% behind this one. How can persons sign up if they'd like to sign their kids up? Where can we find you and your band?
Okay, we're doing everything via social media. No calls. So anybody who wants to join up, sign up. You send your information to 720-7628. You will get a response. Right. So you send
you
on
social media.
We are also on TikTok. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. How many Carnival on Instagram? How many Vaval on TikTok? Yes, and Facebook. How many Carnival on Facebook?
Wonderful. Yes. Olivia, this is a great initiative, and kudos to you guys for paying some tribute to the Papa. Give him his flowers before he gone.
And that's the end of our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow here on DBS This Morning.